Wisconsin's marriage ban is unconstitutional. There have been more big defeats for the National Organization for Marriage. Utah officials resist a ruling that they must recognize the licenses that the state issued to gay and lesbian couples last winter, and Pennsylvania voters show their support for the freedom to marry. For the American Foundation for Equal Rights, I'm Matt Baum, and welcome to Marriage Newswatch for June 9, 2014. Late on Friday, District Court Judge Barbara Crabb ruled that Wisconsin's marriage ban violates the Equal Protection Clause of the U.S. Constitution. Right now, it looks like marriages can't start yet. Plaintiffs will need to file some additional briefs and have until June 16th to do so. Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen has vowed to appeal the decision, so the case is still far from over. But marriage is safe in Oregon. The U.S. Supreme Court last week rejected an attempt by the National Organization for Marriage to stop the state from issuing licenses. This is the fourth in a long string of defeats for the National Organization for Marriage in Oregon. They had tried to intervene very late in the case and have been denied at every turn. NAM still has one more pending issue, an appeal to the Ninth Circuit for permission to intervene. It's very unlikely that they'll be successful, and in the meantime, marriage licenses will continue throughout the state, just in time for Pride. Anti-gay groups got a similar ruling this week in Florida. Groups that campaigned to pass an anti-gay ballot measure had attempted to intervene in a lawsuit challenging Florida's marriage ban. But this week's Judge Sarah Zabel ruled that marriage equality poses no threat to those groups, and they therefore have no standing to participate in the case. Oral argument is scheduled there for July 2nd. NAM also got some bad news from the IRS last week. For years, NAM has been claiming that the IRS is part of a vast conspiracy to leak old tax returns of theirs. But this week, a judge has ruled that, in fact, there was no conspiracy, no gross negligence, and no hope for NAM to recover punitive damages. According to the court, an IRS employee simply forgot to redact some information a few years ago. This will hopefully put an end to one of NAM's persistent talking points about being the victims of an organized persecution. The state of Utah is pulling out all the stops to avoid recognizing married gay and lesbian couples. A district court judge ruled that they must honor the licenses that the state issued a few months ago, but Utah officials announced that they will appeal that decision. The 10th Circuit has issued a 10-day stay of the ruling while they consider the appeal. Last week, we reported that a North Dakota lawsuit would be filed within 6 to 8 weeks, but the legal team there is apparently moving fast because that lawsuit was filed on Friday. That means that every single marriage ban in the country now faces at least one legal challenge. A new survey in Pennsylvania shows that most voters approve of Republican Governor Tom Corbett's decision not to fight marriage equality. According to public policy polling, 56% say that he made the right decision, with just 33% opposing the governor's move. Marriage has been legal in Pennsylvania since May 20th. Those are the headlines. Subscribe here on YouTube to stay up to date on all these stories. For the American Foundation for Equal Rights, I'm Matt Baum. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.